Hi, welcome to Decode's YouTube channel. So in this video, we'll be seeing about the latest LTI Mindtree technical interview experience. So all about that, we'll see that happened on 31st July 2024. So before that, I'd like to talk about my YouTube channel where I have been uploading Java related videos. The Java concepts starting from very basics. If you watch this, you'll be easily able to understand every single concept that's there. And I've also uploaded shorts, which consists of the exceptional MCQs that are asked in the MCQ round of various companies. So where you might make most of the mistakes, right? So if you watch this, you will get an idea. And I've also recently started uploading interview experiences. So it will be really useful for you if you watch my channel, and you can subscribe it, share it, and share it to your friends and ask them to subscribe too. So let's move on into our video. Okay, so this was LTI Mindtree technical interview experience that happened on 31st July 2024. So the experience, this technical interview experience lasted for about 30 minutes. Okay, the person was from AAA department. So at the end, the interviewer also gave some bonus tips. Okay, so which is really useful. So watch this video till the end, and I will tell you what the interviewer advised or said to this particular candidate. Okay, so that is very important. That's where we can learn. Okay, first they asked self-introduction. So no matter what interview you attend, self-introduction is mandated. They'll ask it 99% of the time. So why they ask is that they need to see your communication skills. So only then they will assess you. Okay, so you need to be really fluent and confident in what you're speaking. So speak for at least 5 minutes in a brief manner. Tell about yourself, so your upbringing. So you just tell your name, where you did your college, school, your upbringing, and all of those things. Okay, your skills, achievements, and all of those things. So if you want a separate video on that, I can upload it. So please do comment. I'll give you the template and explain how to talk properly. Okay, so this is all about the self introduction, and also, so don't just stick to the technical part when you are telling about yourself. Don't just say I'm so and so good in this technical thing. I can do this much coding. Don't just stick to it. Also talk about your hobbies so that the interviewer has an idea that you have a world aside from this technical part, this job. Okay, so that they can understand that. So because this particular interviewer appreciated this candidate on talking about hobbies, because he said that I've been interviewing since morning, so you are the only person who talked about hobbies. So you need to keep the interviewer happy. Okay, so just do that. And then the second one was the questions based on your resume. So whatever you put in your resume, kindly be thorough with it. Kindly know, okay, whatever you know, only that you put in your resume. Don't put things that you don't know, because you will lose unnecessarily marks, or you might lose, right? So don't put what you don't know, because the interviewer had the resume that you uploaded during the first rounds, so that was present in a screen, and he asked questions from that. Okay, so questions based on your resume, so only put what you know. That is the key takeaway from this. So what they asked was projects, deeply, very deeply on projects. Okay, whatever projects you've mentioned, kindly be thorough with it from nook and corner. You need to be able to answer. Okay, for example, you might have built a website, so that website uses database in the back end. So for example, if it uses MongoDB, no, so then how did you get data from MongoDB? This was the actual question asked. This is for example purpose. This is how deep they will ask. So MongoDB is queryless. You can't use queries. Then how do you get data from MongoDB? So how do you connect your backend with the MongoDB? What was the connection string format? So since the project revolved around this, they asked question on this particular thing. And so since that person used Python in the backend, they asked, so what library you imported to use MongoDB in your project? Okay, so on all of the codes were asked. So HTTP methods. So what type of HTTP methods you used? What you have that like get, post, and all of those things. They asked on that. So the candidate also had experience in data analysis, data science. So they asked about ML algorithms. So specific code. So in data analysis, a specific code that you use to clean the data, very, 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 very deeply they asked on it. So based on your answer, they will ask further questions. So be prepared. Okay, show that you're prepared. So that is very important. Moving on, they also asked, so if you've mentioned a particular skill in your resume, for example, Python or Java, they will ask you to rate yourself based on that. Based on your resume, you've mentioned it, right? So they will ask to rate yourself. So if you like say I'm just in a beginner level, then they'll ask questions like in that level only. So only say what you know, be frank with it. Don't tell that I'm very expert in Python, and don't fail to answer the questions. That's all I'm saying. Express yourself in a neat and clean way. Okay, this was the thing, and then questions based on your answer. This is very, very important. One thing that person observed was that, so whatever answer you gave for a particular question, so the other questions, the next questions arise based on the answer you gave. So so how the interview goes is based in your hands, it's in your hands. So whatever you answer, you just make sure you know what you're speaking about. Okay, so because you don't want to look. You don't want to say something, and when they ask question on that, you don't want to be like I don't know. Don't do that. Be frank and be clear. Be expressive. Okay, and then since the candidate mentioned Python, they asked about the Python data types. What are the types of Python data types? That was the basic thing in that. So these kind of basic questions also you might encounter, and then SQL query. So the person also mentioned SQL query, like MySQL in their resume. So they asked questions on that. So the person did a project based on the sales data. So like the project used sales data. So the interview person asked to query the sales data from the sales table based on month. Okay, so for this you need to be really aware of the clauses like group by aggregate functions. You need to know about that. So for this, I want you to search the answer and comment down below, and I will tell you if it is right or not. So for example, take you have a sales table, 10 products and their sales data. So for example, handkerchief, in that particular handkerchief, and on that particular date, it has this amount of sales. So date wise, you have the data, and you have to query the sales data based on the monthly sales. You have to query that, and you have to answer that particular question. These were all the questions that were asked. Finally, the interview was concluded with questions for the interviewer. So whatever questions you can ask, so don't say don't know, like don't say I have no, I don't have any questions, or like don't say anything like that. Show that you're interested, show that you want to know about the company. Okay, show that particular thing. You can ask like, what kind of skills you expect from a fresher, what challenges a fresher might undergo during the job or internship process. So do you have any advice for me? You can ask these questions. So do I have any room for improvement? Am I lagging in anything? You can ask these questions, because you also need to know where you are lagging, and in the next interview you can improve yourself. Okay, so the bonus tips point I was talking about, the interviewer said these things. Okay, first and the foremost thing they check is great communication. Good communication, you should be very, very good in communication. You have to be clear, to the point. That is what they expect. So they think that they can even train you in technical fields, but you need to have a good communication skill. You need to have that by yourself, and you should be very open to learning. Whatever technical stack they put you in, you should be open to learning, and you have to be hardworking in that. So the interviewer said that I can't assess your hardworking skills in this 30 minutes of interview. That is in your hands. So when you come to the internship, you need to be very hardworking. You need to put in the efforts, understanding everything, and you have to implement it. And you have to be very flexible. These are all the things they expect from the fresher. So if you have good communication skills, chances are that you will get selected. Okay, and you should show openness to learning. For example, in an interview, you might have said some answers wrong. So when the interview corrects that, okay, you should not do this, do that. If the interviewer corrects that, you immediately say, you don't say, okay, you don't say that. You should say, okay, I can see why this would be correct. So with this, we can achieve the actual result that we wanted. But with that, we can achieve only partial result. I can understand that. You should show that you're open. Okay, based on that itself, they can assess if you are interested in this position or not. So they will also check if you are prepared for this interview. So if you don't show any interest, no, while answering any kind of questions, they will assess that you are not interested for this position to attend. So they might reject you based on that. So you need to have that in mind. So if you have your interview scheduled in further days, so keep all of these things in mind. So and work based on that and prepare based on that. Okay. So if you want more advice or if you want more suggestions, more videos based on any particular things on this, I can put up all I want you to do is comment down. I can put up based on it because I need to know your needs. So this is all about this video. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I'll try to gauge more of the interview experiences. Thank you for watching and please do subscribe.